What is up, everybody? Solomon here. Super excited to be with Genfinity at Consensus 2024, and we are talking gamification on Hedera. Always a pleasure to talk to Joe coming out of the Earthlings project. And Joe, I would love if you could just maybe give us an overview of all things Earthlings. I know there's been a lot of innovation
Yes.
over the past year. Give us some updates.
Oh, yes. So we finished our INO and IDO. So it allowed Patrick to add about 25 people to the building team. So he's full speed ahead. Right now we have the mobile game in beta testing, Steam Runner. So that should be rolling out hopefully a couple weeks. Google Play Store and iOS. So we're working on some integration to get Wallet Connect running on iOS. So that's the next thing coming that people will actually be able to load and play. So everybody look out for that. With our token, Steam launched on May the 3rd. So that's new since the last time I've spoken to you. And we will be June the 1st launching our banking system. So it's a reward system. It's non-custodial staking. So we're super pumped about that. All you have to do is go to register your wallet on earthlings.land and hold some Steam, and you'll be rewarded every month. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
So tell us a little bit more about Earthlings for those that might not be aware of what you guys are building on Hedera so that we can inform everybody.
perfect. It's a Web 2 and Web 3. Everybody says 2.5, but it's a game that's also a metaverse. So the original idea was to create a fun, family-friendly game with quests and challenges and battle royales, but family-friendly. So no blood and gore, but as opposed to bullet guns, we have egg guns, egg shooters. It's a world that's overlaid on an actual map of Europe, so it's huge. It's one of the biggest maps in gaming. Uh, with they took the actual uh, terrain of Europe. So if you're in the part of our map that's supposed to be the mountains, you're in the snow. If you're in the desert, you're in the desert. So it's directly as close as you can get to scale topographically accurate. It's in the future, so we'll have um, animals that have adapted after a few hundred years after the world ended. People will build things by hand, so it's for everyone. If you're into farming or if you're into action, if you're into just community, we have all of that in earthlings.land. So go check it out. YouTube, Twitter, get in our Discord.
Yeah, I'm curious from your standpoint because I think we've seen an evolution of the Hedera ecosystem over the past year, and it's always kind of interesting to kind of revisit where we were versus where we are right now. How do you guys tackle that from Earthling standpoint? Because it's not like the Hedera network, like what you can do on it just stops. There's always going to be more and more and
Yes.
more innovation. I've got to imagine that's got to be a little bit tricky to navigate as far as what makes sense to integrate or what makes sense to integrate in the future. Can you maybe just talk a little bit about innovating?
A lot of that is looking forward to the future and what's coming. The ability to take an NFT and have it adapt over time instead of burning it and replacing it. Those are the things we look forward to, and we're really close on that to be able to change the metadata in an NFT. So if you are on an exploration and find a puppy, it can grow up with your character and it can learn and it can adapt. Those are the things that we're already planning in the game. So that's a super cool part of it. The other thing for us is that we know with Hedera, we're going to be able to expand and run a lot faster with multiple transactions happening constantly. So it's why we did Hedera. We didn't chase a big gaming chain for the hype or the money. We went with Hedera because we can adapt over time.
Yeah, 100%. And then what are you most excited about looking forward? I mean, I know that you guys have had so many, recent announcements out of Earthlings. I know even Sarah through Genfinity did an interview
Oh,
with
she's
Patrick and
great.
you guys. She's so nice.
Fantastic.
But what are you kind of looking forward to in the near future and then looking for further out with Earthlings?
So with our Steam Runner, it's a really cool game. Um, really cool. It's going to be fun, but it was built just for something for the community to do online while they're waiting for the big build. And then we saw it on Patrick's cell phone, and we're like, oh, this has got to be a mobile game. Well, if it's going to be a mobile game, we've got to have Wallet Connect. We've got to put it on the app stores, and then it just grew and developed. But the next mobile game, we're going to start as soon as we launch Steam Runner. We're going to start working on that. So personally, it's the fun behind gamifying it with our Steam token. That's my passion, is always coming up with new things to do with that, and watching the big game develop. But it's a long-term build. But these mobile games, I think a lot of people are going to really love this.
Well, Joe, it's always a pleasure talking to you,
Yes,
and
sir.
looking forward to all the innovation coming out of Earthlings, and gamification on Hedera is here, and looking forward to doing this again next year, because I'm sure there'll be tons to talk about.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Joe.